What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to talk about AMC, GME, as well as the overall broader market, and after that we're going to check the options flow for all three of them. So today AMC was up for 3.83% for the day. It had a high of $12.05. The average volume on AMC is around 52.26 million, but today's volume was around 25.72 million, which is definitely a slight bit lower than the volume that we had yesterday, but still the stock price was slight bit up. This is an indication towards an upside which we might experience after tomorrow the Fed meetings. Now the Fed is going to decide how much of an interest rate hike they're going to do. Right now we just can't predict anything what the Fed is going to do tomorrow, but just by looking at the technical analysis at the charts of the SPY as well as the options flow, I can tell you definitely we are aiming towards the upside. But you never know what the Fed is going to do tomorrow. They might increase to 75 basis point, which is definitely priced in right now. That means we might experience an extreme level of uptrend coming into the overall broader market tomorrow. Or if they stick to 50, then it means they are not being that serious about inflation, which can create a little bit scare in the market. But you never know, you cannot predict. Even after a 50 basis point, nothing might happen, or we might rally because we are in an extreme level of oversold state right now. Now let's come over to the GameStop. Now GameStop was up for 6.70% for the day. It had a high of $127.98. The average volume on GameStop is around 5.19 million, but today's volume was around 3.18 million. The volume is definitely consistent in GameStop. Even the price fluctuation is still between that 120 to 140 price range. Now, this is one thing for sure. If you're going to experience some sort of a uptrend coming into the overall broader market from tomorrow onwards, definitely we're going to see some really good boom green candle coming into the GameStop because the shorts are going to get squeezed. Shorting could be risky, but a lot of these institutional investors, those who have an advantage of the algorithmic trading, they do all these kind of a shorting on the overall broader market. And if the shorts have to cover from tomorrow onwards after the Fed announce whatever they want to announce, which is a slight bit in a positive direction towards the overall broader market, then we're going to experience some sort of a pretty good green week for the day. Now let's come over to the SPY. Now SPY was down for 0.30% for the day. It had a high of $377.93. So this indicates that SPY is definitely trying its best to go up, but it's breaking down because there is not much momentum and there is not much volume that is coming into the SPY right now. Now let's come over to the options flow for the AMC. Now I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now majority of the whales are onto the downside. They are still buying put option with the leap contract on it. That means they're buying enough time for themselves for the AMC to keep going down from here onwards. But there was some call buying also happening on AMC, which were a slight bit suspicious. There was this $20 call option that was bought. This individual is paying $165,000 for it. He's buying 3,500 contracts for it, and this is going to expire in 30 days, which is a slight bit suspicious that someone out there is expecting we might experience some sort of a uptrend coming into the overall broader market along with AMC as well as GME. Now these call options that came in were right at the market close, and they are expecting AMC to go to the upside from here onwards, which is a slight bit suspicious, but we just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. And especially these trades were coming out of the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. That means they have some sort of a conviction towards the upside from here onwards. The rest, there was nothing majorly suspicious coming out of the options flow, but there was another call option that came in with a huge amount of contract. There was this $13 call that's going to expire in 2 days, and these are 1,400 contracts. This individual is paying $39,000 for it. Now let's come over to the options flow for the GameStop. Now I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now the majority of the whales were onto the downside, and they're buying these put options, which could be pretty risky right now because if the overall broader market gets an uptrend, then definitely GME short positions are going to get squeezed, and even these put options are going to get worthless. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit and see what exactly the mini whales are doing and the retail are doing, majority of them are onto the upside. Now when we look at the put to call ratio, we can see it 52% is call side and 48% is downside. The volume is pretty heavy on the put side. The premium are also pretty high onto the put side. But when I look at the options flow, majority of them are onto the upside, and they are betting a huge amount of money which is going to expire in just 2 days time, and they are expecting some sort of a aggressive upward momentum that is about to come in the GameStop. We just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. but it seems to be like now it all comes down to the overall broader market. If the overall broader market experience some sort of a uptrend, definitely GameStop is also going to shoot up really high because the shorts will start covering the short position. Now let's come on to the options for the SPY. Now having increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now there is something very suspicious that was coming out of the options flow for the SPY. There were these pretty huge money that was betting today, and they're all betting towards the downside. Now the main thing comes down to this, that these individuals are expecting some sort of a market crash to be happening tomorrow. If the Fed comes out and they do something very silly, the overall world market is going to have a sell off. Now this kind of options flow that's coming in SPY, it seems to be extremely suspicious. They are all betting towards the downside, but there were few of them. When I'm going to decrease the premium, we're going to see some people were betting to the upside as well, but these bets are not normal bets. Now you look at this $420 put option that is going to expire in 2 days. This individual is paying $18.6 million, and these are 4,000 contract this individual is buying. This kind of money is not a normal amount of money where the individuals are betting that much amount of money to be expired in 2 days, and they're betting that the stock market is going to go down from here onwards. Now there was this major bet that came in over here. There was this $400 put option that's going to expire in 184 days. This individual is paying $85.2 million on it, and he's buying 21,000 contract. This is completely abnormal. This is not at all a good sign for the overall broader market. They might have some sort of information on them regarding what is about to happen, because this kind of a money doesn't muck around. They are definitely confident that the market is going to go down from here onwards. Now there was this say $375 put option that's going to expire in another 184 days as well. This is $50.2 million bet. This individual is buying 18,000 contract. So this is not at all a good sign for the overall broader market for tomorrow. Huge amount of money will be lost tomorrow. As we can see, these $18.6 million bet, these are the $420 put option that's going to expire in 2 days. That if the overall broader market didn't go down, these individuals are going to lose a huge amount of money. Now these ones over here, these $50 million plus bets, they are buying enough time for themselves, and we are in a decline right now. So buying a $400 put option, if the market squeeze up towards the 440 or 430, this money can still be recovered because there is a lot of time value in it. But these ones over here, that's going to expire in 2 days. So you can imagine if the stock market didn't crash tomorrow, these individuals are going to lose $18.6 million each. Now when I bring down the premium and see what exactly the mini whales are doing, majority of them are again onto the downside, and they are all betting that the SPY will keep going down from here onwards. A lot of suspicious trades were coming in today, which indicates it's not at all a good sign for tomorrow. We might experience some sort of a crash coming in. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit more further and see what exactly the mini whales are doing, majority of them again are onto the downside. There is hardly any call buying that is happening. Now few of them were buying the call option, but this seems to be like completely outweighs the downside as compared to the upside. As we can see, the put to call ratio chart over here, 76% is the put option, call side is just 24%, and the volume on the put side is way too much heavier, that's 81.8%, and the premium on the call side is very low as compared to the put side. That indicates that we might experience some sort of aggressive downtrend coming tomorrow, though we have quite a lot of gap in between the charts of the VIX as well as the SPY. But still, it doesn't mean that the big money that is betting towards the downside of the overall broader market is going to lie, or they are just gambling their money. Now we can see the charts of the VIX. There is this huge gap in between the VIX chart. It came down a slight bit, which doesn't indicate anything, but these gaps need to be covered. Sometimes these gap doesn't get covered straight away. It takes a while. This VIX might shot up way too much up, and then in few months time it might go back down to these levels. But this doesn't indicate any good sign for the overall broader market. So tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day. The Fed is going to announce the interest rate hike, what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, how they're going to tackle the inflation. We just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. So thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe my channel, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers.